Welcome back. Okay, it's
Hi.
a new expansion. We're going to gear some characters, and it can all be a bit overwhelming, so today I'm just going to make it all really simple for you.
You'll have 2 full weeks plus a few days from launch to...
I got my own guide, guys. I'm going to be honest. Let's just go ahead and cut to the chase. First thing you do, you pull out your credit card. Second thing you do, get some of these right here. You get some money, and you just throw a few of these at Blizzard. You say, there you go. And then that's your helmet. Right there, that's the shoulders. Boots, legs. Ooh, that's a lot for the weapon. And ring's not really too much. It's pretty cheap. And right here, you've got the trinket. Stacks on stacks on stacks. That's right. It's a rich dude. Yeah.
Season 1, giving you time to get characters set up. Here you'll have the endgame questline to do, some stages of which are unlocked by gaining reputation with the major factions, dragon riding glyphs to collect, reputations to earn, professions, and then some immediate gearing goals, which we'll focus on today. Also, there are a fair few new things versus Shadowlands, especially today's sponsor.
HelloFresh. Look, I just can't go on eating processed food and wasting my money on delivery apps, which is why I use HelloFresh, where the code BELLYTHER70 will get you 70% off, plus free shipping. Now, their meal kit service is absolutely killer. It's one of the easiest ways to just directly improve your quality of life. All I've got to do is select meals ahead of time on their app. Then they're delivered in a cool box. I store the food, and that's grocery time done. And when it's time to cook, and today it's a delicious and very quick to cook dal, I just grab the recipe bag and the refrigerated ingredients, I follow their step-by-step recipe, and that's it. Everything is...
What's the green shit? What the hell is that? Well, what do you have this for? What the fuck is this? Like, what are you doing? Spinach.
pre-measured, and in their rapid meals, which is so handy for me, they've got awesome time savers, like, you know, the pre-diced chicken, just little time savers like that. They're great. So the hassle of the shopping and the planning is gone, and since you get what you need, there's no like random food waste or just tiny amounts of ingredients laying around cluttering up your home. Now, the dal was absolutely delicious, by the way, and dead easy to prep. It's also just a great way to ease yourself into cooking. So they're carbon neutral, they ship...
I think that's actually a really good selling point. I think next time he does this ad, he should probably focus on that more. Yeah, that's a very smart sales technique. I like that a lot. Every time that I watch one of these ads, I actually really like watching them because I like seeing how other people try to sell products.
In recyclable packaging, they cut food waste by 25%. Versus fast food, they are cheaper, faster, and much more healthy, with complete nutritional information included. HelloFresh truly is a boon to my quality of life, so check them out below at that link.
If I had HelloFresh, I would die, because if I eat fresh food, I get sick. Like, if the ingredients in my food isn't at least the size of one tweet from Trainwrecks in all caps lock, it's gonna make me sick. Like, if it doesn't have blue 4 in it and hydrogenated corn oil and, you know, arsenic, and that's not even, like, the worst part is, like, whenever arsenic is, like, in the middle of the ingredient list and not at the bottom, right? Because, like, you're supposed to order them with, like, the percentage. Like, yeah, if it doesn't have MSG, mercury in it, like, it's just not gonna be that good. Yeah, it's gonna make me sick.
Where code BELLYTHER70 will get you 70% off. Thank you to HelloFresh, and let's go.
Okay.
Well, this one's simple. Dungeons drop gear.
What?
The highest level of that, obviously, is that the 8 Dragonflight dungeons can be done on Mythic 0 difficulty, dropping item level 372 gear.
True.
This, of course, is excellent, meaning that you will want to clear all 8 dungeons once per week.
We gotta do that. We only did 2 of them so far.
Heroics, of course, are handy in that they are spammable, and they could be a fast way for you to get some gear to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Now, doing Mythic Dungeons will also earn you Titan Training Matrices. These can drop from the final boss.
What are these?
They're an optional crafting resource that is bind on pickup. Now, don't worry if you're not a crafter, the work order system lets you benefit from these, and I will cover it later. So TLDR, do dungeons. Next, then, we've got Primal
So I can
Storms.
pay to win that, though, right?
If you remember the pre-patch event, this will be familiar. Primal Storms are a new feature where every 6 hours, 2 Dragon Isle zones will have a Primal Storm.
What the
It'll be
fuck?
marked in your world map.
What's
These
this?
last for 2 hours, and when they end, a 6-hour timer will start, and then the next one will begin. These, of course, are aspected to Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water, and they will cause Primalist NPCs to spawn, and also buff up some mobs in the zone. There are no specific objectives for these, rather it's really just a mob grind for currency. Now there are...
So they added the 9.1 patch, the 0.1 patch content on release. All right, cool. Sounds good, Blizzard. You thought you were gonna fool us on this one. I get it.
2 currencies,
Legion Assault,
Elemental
yeah.
Overflow and Storm Sigils. Overflow just drops from the mobs. It's got no limit. Storm Sigils, though, are your main concern. You get these from turning in primal cores to an NPC in Valdrakken called Rethishi. Now, these cores are either going to be air, water, fire, or earth.
Okay.
And you can only turn in 1 per element per week, meaning you can earn a total of 4 Storm Sigils per week. Okay, to what end then? Well,
Hold
Mithressa
up.
and Storm Sigils per week.
That's an 8-piece? That's an 8-piece with a 6-piece. I can't say that without thinking about chicken. God, I need to go to KFC. I haven't been to KFC in a while. Oh my God. Like, y'all remember whenever they used to have those Pepsis with the bucket? You had the handle on them? I used to get that. I get I get one of those for me, one of those for my mom, and then we get a big old bucket of chicken. Oh my God. Damn, like, this has literally fucking nothing to do with the video. Like, this, absolutely nothing. That 2-piece is huge. Look at that. Increase your highest secondary by 226. That's like an entirely separate fucking buff. Kill an enemy, you gain Spark of the Primals, 5, next offense ability, elemental attack, fail damages. Okay, so yeah, the 2-piece is lit.
Okay, to what end then? Well, Mithressa and Rethilshi, names are hard, both sell gear. One of them sells item level 359 Raging Tempest gear, which has 2, 4, and 6 set bonuses.
359.
And this stuff costs Elemental Overflow, meaning you'll be able to grind these up pretty easily. Then, Rethilshi, I'll just pronounce her differently every time, I guess, sells item level 385 Raging Tempest gear that also has a set bonus. Now,
380 fucking 5? Holy shit!
these will cost your initial gear plus storm sigils, with the armor costing between 5 and 10 storm sigils and weapons costing between 5 and a rather massive 14 for two-handers. So
bro, I feel like I'm gonna get that, and you only get 5, so you get 1 a week. There's a 389 ring you can farm in under an hour in the Cobalt area. All right, we gotta start exploiting. We gotta end today at 400 item level.
this definitely is a bit of a slower gearing path.
Okay.
But it is one where,
Makes sense.
at best, you'll have 2 slots of the 385 gear by the end of the launch fortnight. So while not the most exciting thing, I imagine this will be a solid source of loot, and it should be doable in a group in not that much time, be that with friends, or of course the pre-made group finder, which probably will be packed with people.
Oh, yeah.
That said, World PvP gear actually has quite a similar system that still is relevant to you for
Let me
your
look at what that
PvE
stat
gear,
bonus is.
so quite a similar people. Now that said, World PvP
Versatility is 21? What is this, a set bonus for ants? What the fuck is this? What the fuck, like, a 21. You stun, you harden your resolve, and you absorb fucking 50,000 damage. It's insane. Killing enemy players gains Breaker, Frenzy, Versatility, movements by 2%. Oh, that's so fucking badass. Bro, that's awesome. So you get like a Wrecking Ball thing. The more people you kill, the more faster you is.
PvP gear actually has quite a
105
similar
still
system
sucks.
that still is relevant to you for your PvE gear, so we'll cover that in a little
408.
bit. Crafting has seen
That's
massive change in
nuts.
this expansion, and crafted PvE gear is likely going to be useful to you. So, it starts at a very low item level, but if you remember the Titan training matrices that I mentioned earlier, well, they are optional reagents. They can be added into these armor crafts to allow the armor to be crafted at a higher item level. Now remember, output quality of crafts also does depend on the crafter's skill. As an example, heroic dungeons drop a rank 3 Titan training matrix. This will cause gear to be crafted between item level 359 and 369.
Okay, so like if you do harder content, you get higher level matrices. I mean, that makes sense, sure.
The item level that you actually get will depend on the crafter's material quality, specialization, profession gear, and profession skill. There could be a bit of RNG very early on, but eventually people will have enough skill that they'll always be able to make these items at the highest quality. It is a significantly more deep system, but just as a user of that system, you won't need to worry because I'll cover work orders shortly.
Okay.
So, Mythic 0M bosses get us what we really want, and that is the Titan Training Matrix rank 4.
The purple items.
That lets gear be crafted up to item level 282, which is very high for this pre-season period. This, of course, further emphasizes the importance of doing the
Is 282 the ceiling for crafted gear right now? Fuck. 382? Okay, yeah, is it? You meant 382? Yeah, I know. 382, okay, alright, and there's some cobalt ring too, or something like that, okay. Alright, that makes sense.
the Mythic 0 dungeons because that's what they drop. Now, beyond this item level, we do have Primal Infusions and the Engine of Innovation. But those are only applicable for Season 1, so you really don't have to worry about them now.
Okay,
There's
that's
also
fine.
crafted PvP gear.
Thanks,
I'll
Oddly.
cover that a little later. World quests then just operate as they have in the past, to be honest. There's nothing particularly new. Rare mobs drop BOE gear that is in the 360s. I think it's 364, and I guess because it's BOE gear, it'll be on the auction house, but it's not massively important gear, so let's guide on ahead.
360 is only 1 point higher than heroic.
The basics of PvP, because even if you're a PvE person, it is relevant to you. PvP.
Yeah, that's true. Why do rich people need to play the game? Can't they just simply buy the best items? Yeah. The goal in any video game nowadays is to transcend the game itself. And you no longer play the game, you just simply pay the game to play itself.
Gear works similar to how it did in Warlords of Draenor, where its item level is scaled to a fixed value when doing PvP content. Now, the items are still upgradable, it's just that the upgrades only impact their PvE item level, and that ensures that the PvP...
by the way, was something I had suggested, and other people had as well. Keep in mind, it's not only my idea. I'm really glad they did this, because I feel like gearing for PvP in Shadowlands... It just, I was going to think of a metaphor, but like it just took too long. It took too long. You had to farm too much honor. It sucked. So like now it's just way easier to get gear for PvP if you want to just play PvP.
Content will be a bit more fair and easier to get into, but it still gives those players some gear power progression. Now, honor gear starts at item level 340, which is real low, but it scales up to 411 in PvP. Now that honor gear can then, with more honor points, be upgraded to a PvE item level of 366. There's also a conquest vendor, of course, but again, that will be relevant until Season 1 begins.
366 is still below Mythic 0, so like we probably won't go for that. We'll just get the crafted stuff instead, but maybe I will if I want to do more world PvP.
Next then, War Mode. This is actually kind of cool. So, Militia sells item level 366 Drake Breaker gear sets and weapons that scale up to item level 408 in PvP. Much like then, with the Primal Storm gear I covered for PvE content, there is an other tier above these that requires a time-limited resource. Primal Infused Drakebreaker gear then is really strong. It's basically the equivalent to the Primal Infused Raging Tempest gear, the only difference being that it is particularly strong in PvP.
421,
now,
holy shit.
Since this is World PvP, there might be some nice situations where you'll be able to progress both of these at the same time. Okay, let's talk about the currencies then. The base set here is earned by doing activities on the Dragon Isles with War Mode enabled. That will get you the currency that you need, and that's just doing PvP-specific world quests, war supply crates, that kind of thing.
Sure, that makes sense.
Trophies of Strife, in addition to the base pieces of gear, are needed to get the 385 set. Now, these come from the Sparks of Life quest. This quest takes place on one of the 4 zones of the Dragon Isles. Each week, it awards 4 Trophies of Strife, 500 honor, and 50 Dragon Isle supplies.
That's
basically, the Trophies of Strife are very similar to the Storm Sigils. I mean, they basically have the same costs. So if you're willing to do some PvP, this will be a fantastic boost. Getting you, I guess, a guaranteed like 2 to 4 between the Storm gear and the World PvP gear, bits of 385 gear for the start of Season 1.
That's insanely good.
Nice. To move on to crafted PvP gear, basically it works in much the same way as the PvE gear, with the item level benefits coming from the Titan training matrices. Okay, let's cover some other things. So reputation gear, each of the Dragonflight 4 main factions do sell gear ranging from item level 376 to 389. This is in return for Dragon Isle supplies, and there's nothing crazy to say here other than do the reputation content. That's
389 is insane.
This gear costs Dragon Isle supplies, which are a generic currency that you get from doing the majority of
it's like garrison
activities
supplies
on
or
the
something
Isles.
like that,
So you'll want to do the Siege event, you'll want to do the Tuskar cooking pot event, things like that on a regular basis. And as you progress your reps, you'll get the currency, and this will slowly get you a trickle of pretty good gear. Next, then, there's a weekly quest that can be picked up in Valdrakken. You should pick this up as soon as you can. It will ask you to earn reputation with factions and potentially to do another activity. If you complete this quest, you'll get item level 382 gear, which I think makes it a bit of a must, as well as more reputation, Dragon Isle supplies, and then an item that furthers your profession specializations, and Primal Chaos. Now, Primal Chaos is important because it's used in the higher end crafting, but that's crafting that is only relevant for Season 1, so we'll talk about that.
I need to get this quest.
Right. Crafting orders then. So, what happens if you want crafted gear, but you're not a crafter? Well, the work order system exists. So, you'll be earning these Titan training matrices.
Wait, so I could put out work orders for every single person, and then they could fill... So I could get funneled gear by everybody on the entire server? Oh my god. That is disgusting. You need to provide the mats?
Matrices and other miscellaneous currencies from doing content.
Unethical, capping out today.
But you don't have the profession. No problem. You just go to the work order NPC. And here,
you just pay somebody else to play the game for you.
You want, and you supply your soul-bound Titan training matrix. A crafter can then fulfill the order for you. Payment and delivery are all handled.
So you've got to sit there. Could somebody fill out my work order? Could somebody fill out my work order? I need somebody. Could somebody do a work order for me, please?
By the work order system.
Oh my god.
Okay, here's my weekly checklist. This is what I will be doing. Number 1, I will get 4 Storm Sigils from the Primal Invasions. I'll get 4 of the Trophies of Strife from the War Mode quest. I'll do all 8 dungeons at Mythic 0 difficulty. I'll also level up my tailoring so that I can craft my own gear using Titan training matrices for my priest. I'm, of course, going to clear all of the reputation content that I can so that my weekly reputation earned quest is finished. Now, I'm not going to use my Storm Sigils or my Trophies of Strife initially. I'm going to bank them up until the start of Season 1.
Why?
Because I would rather do all of those Mythic Zeros and then kind of fill in slots that I don't get from drops.
That's what I was going to do.
Maybe I won't wait until Season 1. Maybe I'll just wait until I've done all of the Mythic dungeons on
That's a good idea.
And then after those dungeons are done, then I'll do the purchasing. Similar goes for crafted gear then. Depending on the Titan training matrices that I get, I will just craft the best quality armor that I can. And overall, that's really the essence of it. look, for me,
That's
this is
not
all
too
quite
bad.
great. I really love WoW dungeons. They're fun, especially Mythic Zeros, right, where you don't have the timer, so I think that's really cool, especially doing them at a lower item level where there's some challenge. That's dead fun. The world quests in this expansion are much better. They're a bit more paced like the Legion ones, and of course we benefit from flying around.
Thank fucking God. Like, I just loved it back in Legion, whatever. It's like, there's like, hey, yo, you gotta kill 15 of them. All right? Okay, you done with that? All right, there's a guy over there. Kill him. Killed him? All right, good. There's a big guy over here. You kill him? All right, good. There's a bar you got to fill up over here. You pull a bunch of the mobs. Yeah, AoE him down. All right, yeah, good. Okay. You got to kill 10 of these guys. And that was it. Yeah, those are good times. It's like a world quest to me is fun if I can do it in one pull.
Big, cool dragon riding mount. The Primal Storms are, yeah, they're grand. Kind of okay either way. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll get into a gulp frog-like farming thing. Personally, I really enjoy world PvP, so that's really good. And with all the new reputations, I want to do them anyway because they have unraveling storylines, and there's the whole endgame campaign that Blizzard kept off the beta that is unlocked as you rank up with your profession. So
oh, wow.
That'll all be fun to do for its own
shit.
sake, and I'll unlock some gear along the way. Of course, same goes for professions.
So this is how you're supposed to play a game. You have a job and your life. This actually isn't that much time. Like, I know obviously, like, anytime somebody makes a list of what they're going to do in a game, it's like a lot. But, like, you probably do this in, like, I'd say, like, 15 hours, like 10, 15 hours. There's a lot of people that devote 10, 15 hours to entertainment each week.
Which look great. So overall, I think that, say, Shadowlands had a pretty strong honeymoon period. I think
yeah, I mean,
Dragonflight is set up to have
10 to 15 hours a day.
Actually even better honeymoon period. And unlike Shadowlands, it doesn't seem like this expansion is going to immediately trip up and fall over in its face, which is quite nice as well. So, if you want more help in the game, you can check out this video.
Thanks for 5
Potentially,
subs.
maybe check out our Dragon series if you want to learn about some lore. And that's it from me.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably true that Dragonflight, the thing is with Dragonflight is that the game is, there are no systems within a systems within a systems. This is a really great video from Bellier. So if you guys want to watch it yourselves and keep track of all this stuff on your own, go ahead and do that because I think it is extremely useful. This was a great video, a W video. Dragonflight's good as fuck. Yeah, I work 10 hours a week. I still devote 10 a day to WoW. Yeah, there's a lot of people that play WoW a lot. And it's like, also, you're only going to need to do this for like 1 or 2 weeks. And also, it doesn't matter if you don't do it. It doesn't make a fucking difference because, listen, man, you don't need to go and be there on week 1. You don't have to finish everything. It's not a big deal. 10 hours a week? No, I mean 10 hours. He said 10 hours a day. Yeah, he said he works for 40 hours and he still plays 10 hours a day. I don't know how the fuck you do that, but okay.